Well, we've purchased a beautiful new JELD-WEN decorative fiberglass door from our local dealer and removed the old door and frame, saving the interior trim pieces to use again after installation. Let's give a brief overview of the installation. It's a relatively simple process as long as we have all of our required tools and materials. And remember, don't tear out any door until you have all the necessary tools, products, and enough time, which for a first-timer could take over 4 hours. We'll need a hammer and nails, or to make it easier, use a pneumatic nailer with air compressor, drill and drill bits, 2-foot and 4-foot levels, tape measure, sharp chisel, Phillips and Flathead screwdrivers, pliers, pry bar, putty knife, 2.5 to 3-inch galvanized screws, caulk gun with polyurethane and silicone sealants, wood shims, razor knife. This pre-hung door came installed with a security plate on the outside of the frame at the latch. Do not remove this, as it reinforces the deadbolt. We also leave the pre-hanging clips attached throughout the majority of the installation to hold the door system aligned and closed. Measure your new door to confirm that it will fit in the opening, verifying the width and height are accurate. We're also checking to ensure the opening is square, level, and plumb. A crucial step before installing the pre-hung door is to ensure the outside and rough opening are protected against the weather, specifically against water leaking into the house. We've protected the sill pan and surrounding area with spray adhesive primer and flashing along the entire bottom and up the sides. Next, we'll prepare the door by applying a smooth and continuous bead of silicone sealant where the exterior trim meets the door frame. Apply another bead of sealant across the sill pan back dam and over the flashing joints. We apply a 3/8-inch bead of sealant to the back of the trim where it contacts the house. Remove any pre-hanging clips, but remember the door slab can now freely swing open, so be very careful when moving it around. From the outside of the house, we tilt the entire door unit and frame into the center of the opening, making sure the sill contacts the sealant on the sill pan back dam. We fasten the hinge jamb with a 10D finish nail or a 3-inch drywall screw centered in the hinge jamb around 16 inches from the top and bottom of the frame. On the inside, we check that the door is square in the opening by adding shims at each hinge. Then we'll do the same to the other side along the latch jamb by placing shims directly across from the hinges and at the strike plate. Drive a 3D finish nail or a 3-inch drywall screw in the latch jamb 16 inches from the top and bottom of the frame, and again, verify the door is square. Add additional nails or screws centered between the first two. Check that the door opens freely and that the reveal, or the space between the door and jamb, is even from top to bottom. To finish the overall installation, we'll remove 2 of the short hinge screws from the top hinge and drive 2 longer wood screws in through the hinge, frame, and into the studs. Repeat the same process of removing 2 short hinge screws and replacing with the longer wood screws. Check that the door sweep contacts the threshold evenly. A piece of paper should pull out smoothly while the door is shut. Use more silicone sealant around the outside of the door unit between the brick mold and the jamb and between the siding and the brick mold. From the inside of the house, use a low expansion foam between the rough opening and the door frame. Replace the interior side and top trim pieces. Apply wood filler to fill up the nail holes, lightly sand, and top off with touch-up paint. Okay, that's it. Great job. Keep in mind, this is just an overview, so be sure to follow the step-by-step instructions attached with the door, or find them online at www.jeld-wen.com/resources. And remember, this new front door can increase your home's curb appeal with years of reliable performance and beauty.